Welcome back to the Axis, your go-to spot for help, tips and tricks, and community. We have a couple advertisements today. Our first one is peer tutoring. We would love to have you join us. We meet Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. It is completely free. You don't have to sign up. We do like it if you sign up. It does allow us to help prepare a little bit beforehand. But you're free to drop in, and it's 100% confidential. This is a list of some of the things we help with. We even help with more than that. So we would love to have you come and see us. Our second advertisement today is for Sparky Speakers. They meet Wednesdays from 8:30 to 9:30. We will have a interest form in the sign up in the description to this video, and we would love to have you sign up and join us. We have a couple positions open, and if you like to debate or discuss things about the world, doesn't necessarily have to be politics, you're free to join us. Our last advertisement today is Chess Club. So they meet on Tuesdays from 1:30 to 2:30, and they play on a Lichess. So you will have to create a Lichess account. We have a wonderful PowerPoint to help you with that. And our join code is 05-2027 if you would like to join. Lastly, in terms of announcements, we would love you to visit our website where we have everything from help resources to fun activities and more. We currently are hosting a poetry contest if you're interested, and we're going to have more coming soon. So keep updated on our website and our YouTube channel. So today we're going to talk about how to prioritize, and to help us out with that, we have Sky. Take it away,
Hey guys.
Sky.
Oops. Sorry, Catherine. So first things first, the biggest thing for me is make sure you do the biggest and most important assignments first. That way you have enough brain power to complete those big assignments, and you don't have too much effort you need to do at the end of the day when you're tired. Catherine went ahead and compiled a list, like a week's worth of assignments taken from her pacing guide. You can see how to make a type pacing guide like this with our previous video. So you're going to take these assignments and you're going to break them down even further. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to say, okay, in each of these categories, in each of these class categories, let's break it down into what assignment has to happen first and what's most important. And then from there, you can compile your week's worth of what needs to get done in order of how you should get it done. If you can go ahead to the next. Thank you. First things first, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get that DBA scheduled. You can't if you wait to do anything until the actual DBA you could be waiting until Friday to do your week's worth of work, right? And then after that, you're going to want to make sure you take that midterm practice quiz and look over areas that you've struggled in that practice quiz. Because I don't know about you guys, but for my practice quizzes, you have to retake it until you get a certain percentage. So you're going to look over the areas that you struggled. That way you're ready for that midterm, and then so on and so forth. You can kind of take it. You can kind of see how it lays out there. And then I believe it's Reagan next. Go ahead and take it away, Queen.
Talking about certain time class each day. So if we want to do a 7-hour work day, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. you're working 3 hours, and then you take a break for lunch, and then you have 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. 4 hours. So you're getting 35 hours of work a week. And if you have 6 classes, you are averaging about 5.8 hours per class a week. On to Skylar.
Alrighty. So another way you can prioritize is doing assignments on the day of live lesson, or kind of doing a combination. So this is the same week that we were just looking at. And I broke that into how my live lessons are not scheduled perfectly, as I have 2 classes on Monday, nothing on Wednesday. And it kind of looks like this. Monday has 6 assignments, Wednesday has 2. Obviously, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday they're kind of in that balance of being just normal. And so you can see that that's probably not going to work. I'm probably not going to get all 6 assignments done on Monday, and on Wednesday I'm going to have 2, and I'm going to be trying to catch up, which you don't necessarily always want to be having to catch up. So my tips is to separate. So in terms of separation, as I'll show you here, is kind of how I rebalanced it out. You don't want to take your midterm practice quiz and your midterm exam necessarily on the same day. I mean, you could start in the morning and do it at evening, but I would suggest having a couple days in between to look over what you missed, like Sky had mentioned earlier. And so you want to separate stuff like that. And then you also want to balance. So I rebalance this here so that it's 4-3, 4-3, 4, which kind of works out really well to have that perfect balance of having the same amount of work essentially on each day. And I broke up that practice quiz and that midterm exam just so that it would be easier. So I'd have a day in between to work on what I potentially missed on or retake it as many times as need be. Now we're passing it on to Skylar.
Okay, thank you, Catherine. Another thing for me that I really like is, the idea that the larger the assignment is, the more brain power you need, the larger of a break you take, right? In my head, or in my experience, a break should be about 10 minutes minimum, because that gives your brain enough time to fully reset and fully re-engage. The more brain power required, like I said, the longer the break. Typically, a break should not include scrolling social media or being online. It can be taking a quick walk to get out and get moving. It could be getting a snack. It could be maybe calling a friend for a couple minutes or whatever. And then typically what you do is a lesson and its corresponding quiz would take about a 10-minute break. A test would be 15 minutes, a big lab and project 20, and an assignment would be 10 minutes. And yeah, that's basically the idea of the larger the assignment, the larger the break.
Thank you, Skylar. So I'm going to be talking about a technique that I use called the Pomodoro technique. So what I do is I decide on a task or a specific subject that I need to work on. Typically it's a one of the unit activities or typically an assignment, a task going to take me a while to complete. I will set a timer at just 5 minutes and I will work on the task until the timer rings. One thing that I do is if I'm in the middle of the task and the timer is something else that I need to work on, I will write it down so that during my I'll have long when it's the break, I will complete that task. And so yeah, you take a short 5-minute break to do whatever it is you need to do, and then 5 minutes. So step 5 says after 4 cycles, take a 15 to 30-minute break. I typically recommend staying away from screens during that break. Like you can go outside, stretch, get some air, and then come back after and complete the task. Or however, if you're done, then just start on something else and start over. You know, on the count.
Okie dokie, guys. So the biggest thing I want to point out with this whole prioritization thing is customize it to your needs. If you have a day, kind of like what we were talking about with the live lesson slide, if you have a day where it's busy, don't schedule that many assignments on that day. And if you have a different type of priority list in your head than the one I explained, do that one. These are not set in stone. You have to do it this way, except for the Pomodoro method. That's pretty kind of how you do it. With everything else, though, you can customize it to however you need it to be. These are just suggestions. Make sure throughout your day, though, you are getting enough water, you're eating enough, and you're make sure you're not like sitting the entire day. And yeah, make sure you're taking care of you. But the biggest thing is you got to make it fit for you. You are the main priority here. It is your work, not mine. So I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Yeah, these are just kind of suggestions on how you can. You can mush them all together and make a big prioritization sandwich if you want. That's up to you. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah,
join us next week and we will have another episode of the Axis. It might take a couple weeks. We do typically decide, and we'd love to have you stop in peer tutoring. Thank you all.